Okay, in the previous videos, we've talked a lot about the minor pentatonics. Now, I gave you a little theory on the minor pentatonics whenever I did the previous two videos, but now I'm going to give you the full story on the minors. So, what we're going to do is we're going to start with the D minor 7 chord, and we're going to build a progression around that. It's only going to be 3 chords, it's not going to be hard. So, the first chord in our progression is going to be a D minor 7. Second chord is going to be an E minor 7. Third chord is going to be an A minor 7. And the A minor 7 is actually rooted on the E string. The bass note is going to be the A at the 5th fret. Okay, so since the progression is built around a D minor 7, we actually have to figure out what scales we can play over that will sound good and that are actually theoretically correct for that chord. Okay, whenever you're dealing with your minor 7 chords, it's usually a good idea to use the minor pentatonic scales to solo over them. But the key is actually knowing what scales you can use in any situation. Sometimes you'll be playing a progression and you'll have, let's say, a D minor 7, and sometimes that A minor pentatonic isn't going to sound good over that, so you need to know where to go from there. So what we're going to do is we're going to start with the D minor 7 chord that the progression is built around, which, as we just went through, it sounds like that. So with the D minor 7 chord, D minor 7 is going to be the second scale degree in the C diatonic scale. So anytime you have a minor 7 chord, basically what you're going to do is that's always going to be the 2 in the diatonic scale. So if you have an E minor 7, it's going to be the 2 in the D scale, and so on and so forth. So with the D minor 7, there's 3 different minor pentatonic scales that you can play over top of that theoretically are supposed to sound correct. So the first scale is the A minor pentatonic scale. And we've gone through this before in one of my previous videos, but I'll go through it again for you. So I'm going to play the A minor pentatonic scale the normal way, then I'm going to play it the extended way. So first, the actual normal minor pentatonic, A minor pentatonic scale that everybody knows is going to be right here. We're starting at the 5th fret on the E string, which is going to be your A. It's going to be your root note, and we're going to go all the way across all 6 strings. So here we go. Okay, now that's the pretty much standard way. Now the next way that we're going to do this, we're going to do it the extended way. And for all intents and purposes, I'm probably not going to play this one back down to the root that we're starting on, but I'm going to play it all the way up. So whenever you're playing the extended scale, instead of starting down here on the A, what we're going to do so your hand's in the right position is we are going to actually start up here on the G. Now, of course, G is in the A minor pentatonic scale. So we haven't committed any sins or any crimes or any craziness like that. So I'm going to play it for you. Just watch my hands. Now, where we're going to end right here on the 12th fret on the high E string. Once again, this is it up to speed. Okay, now that gets the A minor pentatonic scale out of the way. The next scale that actually sounds good over a D minor 7 chord is obviously going to be the D minor pentatonic scale. Now, for this one, we're going to start on the A string at the 3rd fret and follow pretty much the same pattern. Okay, and now we're going to play the D minor pentatonic scale the standard way. So what we're going to do is start right here on the 5th fret on the A string. Okay, and last but not least, we've got the E minor pentatonic scale that you can play. And E minor pentatonic is probably one of my least favorites. It doesn't sound that great over a D minor 7, but in theory, it's supposed to. So I'm just going to show you one way to play the E minor pentatonic scale. Okay, now using those scales, you can basically come up with your own ideas. Like, for instance, this is one lick in A using the scale that we just went over. So once you know the scale, is really easy to come up with your own licks. So I'm going to play the progression for you, and basically you can kind of play over the progression and figure out what sounds good. Alright, so you get the point. I hope this has been able to help somebody, and message me if you have any more questions, message me if you need the tabs or any other information, and I hope to see you next time.